What's up everybody, Muilisx here, how's it going? I'm making another video to talk about another video I did. By now you guys have seen my PS4 Thermal Paste Change video. I got a comment today from a guy, basically said, let's read his comments if I still can because I blocked them. See if it fucking goes. I wish the email would show it, but the email doesn't. It only shows a little bit. Alright, well I can't see his comments anymore, but this is part of it. Just the fact this guy's stupid enough to not tell anyone no matter what you do, the PS4 always gonna seem like it's running hot. And it's really not that, because what Sony designed the PS4 when the fan, whatever. Then he said some other things. I can't read anymore, I deleted it. But basically he was telling me I'm stupid. I don't know what I'm talking about. I called the heat shield a metal case because not everyone knows what a heat shield is. So if you talked, you know, you got to talk down a little bit so people understand. Not everyone knows how to do this. So why would I name everything by the official, professional, technical name? Because then I'm going to have people saying, what is that? What does that mean? Basically, he told me I was stupid. Changing the thermal paste is not going to solve the problem. Basically, he was dancing in my comments. Now, what is the main reason why people get defensive over this? The main reason why people get defensive over this is because they don't understand it. He has no clue what thermal paste does. He has no clue what it's supposed to do. So how or why does he even have a say in anything? You know? So let's talk about it now. Let's talk about it. Thermal paste, what does it do? Thermal paste is responsible for transferring the heat from your CPU, in this case PS4 is one chip, CPU/GPU is responsible for transferring the heat from that chip to the heatsink. Now Sony uses very poor quality thermal paste, regardless of what this guy said. Okay, Sony's not designing their PS4 to be the best cooling system in the world. They're not going to pay $10 a tube for 2 grams of Arctic Silver 5. Okay, they're going to make their own paste. They're going to use they're going to cut corners, and that's what they did. All right, so you have thermal paste inside your PS4, the same cheap garbage that was in the PS3 that's drying up pretty much as soon as you take it out of the box. Like I said, I got home with mine. Before I plugged it in for the first time, I took it apart. My thermal paste was half dry already. That's not good. Your thermal paste should not be dry. It should not be dry in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Your thermal paste, you could at least go up to 5 years before changing your thermal paste. But not on the PS4 with the paste that's in there out of the box. That paste, you know, sure, your PS4 is going to run. Of course it's going to work. But it's going to be running hot. Okay? He mentioned in his comment, if I remember correctly, that the reason why, if it gets hot, the fan's gonna click on. The fan's gonna click on. No shit. But that doesn't mean it's supposed to be on stage 3 or stage 4 fan speed. Okay, my PS4 and all 10 PS4s I've done do not go past stage 2 anymore. When I got a PS4 here that didn't do it, and we were both playing GTA 5, okay, his fan was stage 3, stage 4, loud as hell. We had to turn up the volume on his TV. Mine stage 2 the whole time. Okay, my PS4 has been on for 4 days straight, and I don't even close the game. When I get too tired at night, you know what I do? I pause my game, and I turn off the TV. So my PS4 is on all night long, spinning all night long, producing graphics, generating graphics all night long, and my fan speed is stage 2. Why? Because now I have really good thermal paste inside my PS4, so my heat is being transferred properly at all times. Okay, if your fan on your PS4 is loud, then that's a sign that your heat isn't being transferred away from that chip. And that's normal when you're using cheap crap thermal paste. Alright? So this guy who's basically dancing in my comments, bashing everything I said, because he admitted in the second time he responds, he basically said, yeah, I really don't know about thermal paste. Okay, so why are you mentioning and saying anything then? You're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot. You have no clue what thermal paste does. So why would you comment on a video, you know, bitching about the person who made the video, if you don't know what it does? It's common sense. Any computer, when you buy a CPU and it comes with that little cheap piece of shit stock fan and heatsink, and it comes with that pre-applied thermal paste, I take that shit off and I put my own thermal paste on. I don't even use that garbage. Okay? So the first thing I did to my PS4, okay? This is what I do. I pause my game. And I have my controllers set to turn off after 10 minutes of no use to save battery power, because we all know the PS4 controller doesn't last nearly as long as the PS3 one did. So this is what I do. So I just come over here and I hit my power button. Okay, now I'm back in the game. Okay, I'm back in the game. Pause the game. This is what I do. This is what I do when I'm done playing. Okay, come down here to my PS4. Alright? This has been on for 4 hours like this. Can you hear that fan? You barely hear that fan. Let's go a little closer. Alright, that's stage 2. You hear that? That's stage 2. That's barely even on. That's quiet as hell. Okay? Before I did this for my friend, just like this, his thing was blazing loud. Okay, don't tell me that the thermal paste isn't going to work and that's not the problem when it's clearly the solution on 10 PS4s. Okay, everyone knew that the PS3 yellow light of death was caused by the thermal paste. The thermal paste dried up. It wasn't changed. It gets hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter, and it broke its own solder. Yellow light of death. Okay, when I opened my PS3 and I put my finger on top of that chip, there was nothing left. It was all crust. It was all dried up paste. Bad. That's terrible. The PS4 uses the same crappy fucking thermal paste the PS3 uses. And don't think Xbox is any better, because they cut corners just as much as Sony does. And I guarantee you, anybody with an Xbox 360, regular Xbox, Xbox One, okay, you have thermal paste inside your system. And I guarantee you that your Xbox is going to be running better with better thermal paste. It doesn't matter what system you have. All right, it's just the technical science behind thermal paste and how it works. Now, I've had 2 strangers send me their PS4 in the mail, UPS ground. They paid shipping both ways. Both ways they paid shipping, and I changed the thermal paste for free. Okay, I use my own thermal paste. Right now I have MX2. That's the thermal paste I have right now. MX2. This stuff right here. This stuff is MX2. Okay, this is MX2. Okay, this is really good thermal paste. This is about $10 a tube, and they say you can go 8 years on this stuff. I personally wouldn't go 8 years. Like I said, 3 to 5 years you want to change thermal paste. So again, anybody that spends $400 on a PlayStation 4 and doesn't really know the inside of a computer, or is intimidated by taking apart the $400 system, yes, I understand your point. I understand that you're scared. I understand that some people are going to say, fuck, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to void my warranty. You don't have to void your warranty. Wait to 12 months. I didn't say you can't play on it with the stock paste. I just don't recommend going more than 12 years, 12 months on that crap thermal paste. Okay, because I guarantee you after 3 months of heavy use, you're going to start noticing your fan is a lot louder than it was out of the box. You're going to put your hand behind the back of the PS4 on the right side where the wires are, and you're going to feel that air coming out. You want that air to be hot. The hotter the air being blown out of your system, the cooler your chip is. Okay, a lot of people confuse that. They think cold air being blown out means everything is running cool. That's not the case. Okay? If the thermal paste isn't transferring the heat away from the chip, then the system's going to blow cold air or cool air. Okay, and then that heat is just going to sit around your chip. When the heat doesn't get transferred away from the chip, that's when your chip starts overheating. Now think about a computer that's about 10 years old, that the person never changed their thermal paste, they never cleaned the dust caked between the CPU fan and the heatsink. Now it can cake up in those grooves and stuff. Okay, I had a computer come to me, you turned it on. As soon as it got to the desktop screen, it would turn right off. Just turn off, because it was overheating. So the CPU shuts down, the computer shuts down just like this to protect the CPU, so the CPU doesn't get damaged. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen with your PS4, because it's going to take quite a few years for it to get that hot and that dry and that dusty, but that doesn't mean it's not struggling. Okay, now if you have your PS4 for 12 months, your warranty is over. So you have nothing to lose by doing this. If it's going to help your system, it's going to help prolong the life of your system. Alright, you can Google this, it's all over the internet. It's more of an issue with PS3 than PS4. PS4 hasn't really been proven to have overheating issues, but if Sony is using that same crap quality thermal paste, it only makes sense, logical thinking, common sense, especially someone like me who's been building computers for 15 years, okay? I know about thermal paste. I know what's happening, right? Your PS4 doesn't have to struggle. It doesn't have to work harder to keep cool, all right? It doesn't have to. Now, I know in my PS4 Thermal Paste video, I didn't really explain why you should do it, because when I plugged it in and I started to talk about that, I had people come into the house and I really couldn't talk. So I'm doing it now. Okay, your thermal paste is going to be dry within 6 months. Your PS4 will still work, it will still operate, but that doesn't mean it's running optimal. Okay, your PS4 is struggling to keep cool because the thermal paste isn't transferring the heat. The thermal paste isn't doing its job. So what does that mean? That means your fan has to work harder. Your fan has to go to a higher speed to try to cool down the system. Okay, and eventually you're going to have no thermal paste left that's gooey, that's transferring that heat, and you're going to always have a loud fan. Okay, when you're idling on the main screen and you don't have a game running, you don't have anything running except the PS4 itself, stage 1 is what you should be on. Stage 1. Okay, when I'm in a game, like right now I'm in GTA 5 since noon, so I'm in there for almost 6 hours. Okay, the game's been running for 6 hours, mostly paused like this, but it's still running. Stage 2 fan speed. You should really never even use stage 3 and stage 4. It's only there because the fan's motor can go that fast. That's the only reason why it can go that fast. But your PS4 is not supposed to be always on stage 3 and stage 4 fan speed. That's just there to protect the system from, from overheating. But you don't even have to have your fan go that loud. You could change the thermal paste, or have everyone has at least one friend, or there's at least one person in someone's family or friends of a family that knows computers. Okay? I fixed tons of computers. I've repaired tons of computers. I've done about 6 or 7 PS3s with the thermal paste. I've done 10 PS4s. 2 shipped to me by complete strangers I never met before. Completely trust me with their $400 system. They paid the shipping. They gave it to me. They gave me their cell phone number. I text pictures as I was taking it apart, as I was moving along, so they could see the steps I was doing, so they knew. I stayed in contact with them the whole time, so they didn't have to have the fear of, hey, this guy's stealing my PS4. I have no reason to steal your PS4, but I know the good that this does for your system. So I offer my services for free because I want people to see. I want people to know. I want people to see and realize that this is legit. This is real. All right? Any computer technician out there, or anybody out there that has done this with their PS3 already has done it with their PS4, because it's the first thought that comes to your mind. Hey, when I get my PS4 home, first thing I'm doing is changing that fucking thermal paste because Sony's using that same cheap fucking thermal paste. Okay? Now this guy who fucking commented on my page, dancing in my comments, and he knows I'm talking about him right now. Let's go get his name real quick. Let's go see his name. John D. John D. Mr. John D. You're an idiot. you're an idiot. Okay, you basically proved to me in your comment that you were an idiot. You were getting so mad and you were getting so angry. Why were you getting mad and angry? Because you don't understand. That's why you're getting mad and angry. Anybody that doesn't understand something is going to get defensive over it. Alright, and I understand that. But to bash me, to attack my knowledge, to tell me I'm an idiot, I don't know what I'm talking about, you look like an idiot. You look like an idiot. Okay? Because any common sense, it's fucking retarded. Now, I understand you guys don't want to take apart your $400 system. You don't want to risk breaking your system. But trust me, you don't want to void your warranty. I guarantee you that you have a higher chance of your PS4 running hotter than it should be than you do needing that 1-year warranty. The chance that you need that 1-year warranty within the first year that you own your PS4 is very slim. You're not going to need it. You're not going to need it. So if you'd rather wait 12 months before you think about doing this, just for ease of mind, then more power to you, go for it. Okay? You don't have to come home like me, and before you plug it in for the first time, you're taking it apart. I chose to do that because I know that it's going to help. So why should I start off with a system that's going to be running hotter than it should and have a fan that's and a system that's struggling to keep it cool when I can take 30 minutes, change the thermal paste with much better thermal paste, put everything back together all within 45 minutes, and not have to worry about changing it again for 5 years. Alright, so right now you have a new PS4, you have it for 12 months already, that thermal paste is pretty much shot. So now, all the years after that you play your PS4 without doing this, your PS4 is struggling. Your PS4 is working harder. Now you might not notice that, you might not see that, but it is. It is. Your fan is fucking sounding like a jet engine. Your PS4 is struggling and working harder than it should be. You want your fan to never go past stage 2? Change the thermal paste. Change the thermal paste. Alright? If your PS4 is sent to me and I get it around 12 o'clock in the afternoon, I will have it done by 1 and I will have it shipped back out the same day to you. So the only thing you're really waiting on is transit time. So if you ship it on a Monday and I get it on a Wednesday, Thursday, you'll have it back Friday. If not Friday, Monday, because they don't do weekend deliveries. So ship it on a Monday, you'll get it back by before the following Monday or the following Monday, and everything will be gravy. Okay? Again, you don't have to listen to me. You don't have to do this. You don't have to. But why not? If you know that it's going to help your PS4, you should do it. You should put good thermal paste inside your $400 investment. That's the way I look at it. That's the way I look at it. So if you're coming to my video and you're bitching and complaining about what I'm talking about, then 99.9% chance you don't understand what I'm talking about. So you get defensive. John D is a perfect example. A perfect example. Here's some guy on the internet telling some other guy, hey, take apart your PS4 and change the thermal paste. But here's John D doesn't understand what thermal paste does and why I should do this. All he's thinking about is taking apart his $400 system. So he's going to attack me and yell at me because he is intimidated by this. That's why he did it. So I'm making this video not to come back at John D, but I wanted to make a new video in response to that video explaining why you should change your thermal paste. Okay, it's a very simple thing to understand. Thermal paste transfers the heat from the CPU. In this case, it's one chip, so I'm going to say CPU/GPU. Transfers the heat to the heat sink, and then the fan blows out that hot air that was transferred. Okay, when you have poor thermal paste not doing anything, there's no heat being transferred away from the chip, and that's when you start overheating. That's when your fan starts getting louder and spinning faster, because now there's no heat being transferred, and your system's going crazy trying to get that heat out of the system. Okay, that's how you run into problems. Now your fan's on max speed all the time, you burn out your fan, your motor of your fan gets burnt out, your fan stops working, now you're out of warranty. Not because you voided it, because it's been 12 months, and now your fan stops working. So now, you don't have a working fan. So now your PS4 is just hot all the time, and it's probably not even going to run right. Now you got to spend $150 to send it into Sony, and pay for them to give you a new fan. But, You could have spent $10 on a tube of thermal paste, $7 to $10 on a tube of thermal paste, had your friend who knows computers take it apart and put the new clean it off, put the new thermal paste in, and then boom. Now you don't have to worry about your fan burning out. You don't have to worry about your CPU, GPU overheating because it's going to be staying cool the whole time. Now, I don't understand why people don't understand that. Again, if you don't understand it, don't get intimidated. Okay, it's very simple. All you're doing is taking out the power supply, taking out the Blu-ray, flipping it over, taking off the plastic. You're opening the heat shield, aka metal casing, that holds the motherboard in, and you're cleaning off the paste. Now, in the description below, I'm going to put the link to my other video showing exactly what I'm doing. Okay? And I don't expect to see, I mean, of course you're going to have people that are going to bitch and complain and say, I'm not doing this. Okay, but most of the comments on the other video of people that are doing it and saying I did it. I had one guy thank him so much. He sent it to me, I did it. He wrote a comment saying thank you so much, it's running so much better. No shit. No shit, it's running better. It's common sense. The heat's being transferred away from the chip. The CPU, GPU is running cooler. It's staying cooler. When you have an overheating GPU, that's graphic processing unit, for short. Instead of saying graphical, I'll say graphic processing unit. Okay, like a computer with a video card. When that video card is running too hot, what happens? What happens? Popping, screen tearing. You know, you have tearing, popping. You start having graphic problems. You start freezing. Okay, that's what's eventually going to happen. Your CPU, GPU is going to get too hot. You're going to start freezing. Your graphics are going to start freezing. You're going to start seeing screen topping. You're going to have a drop in frame rate. You're going to be driving along GTA 5, and all of a sudden you're going to start lagging. And not internet lag, I'm talking computer lag, hardware lag. Okay, it's inevitable. This thermal paste inside your PS4 is inevitable to stay good. It's going to go bad. It's going to dry up, and it's going to cause problems in the long run. This is a long-term solution. This is a long-term fix. This isn't a mod, okay? That doesn't mean the PS4 is a piece of shit. Sony cut corners, just like Microsoft does. Microsoft cut corners with the ESRAM that makes the whole console a weak, inferior piece of shit. And you got Microsoft who cuts corner with the thermal paste. Okay? That's just how it is. This is how it is. Look, here I am right now. I'm still paused again. Controller turned off after 10 minutes. I still can't hear my PS4. It's still stage 2 fan speed. It's still stage 2 fan speed. Okay, I guarantee you 100%. I guarantee you. I will pay you money. I will pay you money to do this to your PS4 because I know that it will do good. It will do good for your PS4. Okay, it's not hard. There's no reason to get upset. There's no reason to get intimidated. There's no reason to attack the person who made the video who's just trying to inform people. Alright? Okay, it's not hard to understand. If you're a computer tech and you build computers, you know what thermal paste does. Alright, chances are you are more advanced with building computers than I am. I just like to build low-end gaming rigs, $500 builds, $600 builds. I'm not building a water-cooled system, a $3,000 gaming computer, no. But those people are the people that will leave comments saying, I agree, you're 100% right. Because those people know what thermal paste is supposed to do. Okay, when you got people who are, 15, 16-year-old kids and their mommy and daddy bought them their PS4, those are the ones that are going to have a problem with this. Those are the ones that are going to get upset and start talking shit because they just don't understand. When you don't understand something, you attack it. You don't defend it. You offend it because you don't understand it. So I'm not going to keep going on and on about it. I pretty much said what I had to say. It's not hard to change the thermal paste. Message me on my inbox if you want me to do it for you. If you live on Long Island, if you live in New York, you can come over. You can sit right here on the table with me with the light on nice and bright. I will show you how to do it. So 3 to 5 years down the road, you could do it yourself and you don't need me to do it again. I'm not going to charge you any money. If you're out of state, all you have to do is pay shipping. Pay the shipping. pay the shipping both ways, and I will get it done in the same day for you. It's very, very easy. I can have the PS4 completely stripped down to the board in about 10 to 12 minutes. I've done 10 PS4 so far. I know exactly how to do it. There's a few different models out, but the assembly is all the same right now. For example, I had two 80 gig fat PS3s that they were a little bit different on the inside. But right now, all the PS4s are pretty much the same on the inside. So there's no guesswork for me. I know what has to come out. I know what screws have to come out to get certain things out. There's no mistakes. I can't make a mistake. I've done it so many times, it's impossible for me to do something wrong. It's impossible. Alright? So, I recommend don't go more than 12 months on the stock paste that's in the PS4. Okay? I tell people not even to go more than 6 months. Don't even go more than 3 months. Okay? But I'm not saying that you can't come home from the store with it and not play it. Of course you can come home and play it. I'm not going to tell you not to. It was my choice to come home and open it up and void my warranty, and I haven't even plugged it in yet. I changed my thermal paste because I know the good it does, and I didn't want to start off my life with my PS4 struggling to work a little harder than it has to when I could have put the better thermal paste in and have it running better. It's just how it works. It's just what the thermal paste does. You have dry thermal paste. How do you expect it to transfer the heat properly? How do you expect your PS4 to be running at optimal heat and optimal temperatures if the thermal paste isn't doing its job? And that's what's going to happen. You're going to notice your fan might already be loud now and you're watching this video. You know what? Shit, my fan is fucking loud. You know, this makes sense. Of course it makes sense. Your fan being loud and running louder and louder as you go into a game is a sign that your paste isn't transferring that heat properly. The only reason why your fan would go on a louder speed is if it has to work harder to cool down. If it detects that there's heat building up and it's not being cooled. Alright, like I said, my fan never goes to stage 3 and 4. I had a friend come over. Okay, I didn't tell him about it yet because I wanted to see what it was like. We were both playing GTA 5 in the same room. 2 different TVs. I brought out my guest TV. I took it out into the living room. Okay, we were both playing GTA 5 online for about 2 hours. And after about an hour, I noticed his fan get much louder because he had to turn up the volume on his TV, the TV he was using. So I looked at him. I said, "You see how loud your fan is right now?" And he said, "Yeah, my fan's loud." And my fan wasn't loud. My fan wasn't loud. His fan was loud. Mine wasn't loud because my thermal paste was doing its job while his wasn't. That's basically the grip of it. That's the gist of it. Alright? So if you have any questions regarding this, don't hesitate to send me a message. I am here to help you. I'm a very honest person. I'm only here trying to help you people. Okay, I'm just trying to inform you of why your PS4. I had people go on the forum saying, "Oh, your fan's defected. Your PS4's defected. Go exchange it." What are you, fucking retarded? How is your fan defected if it's working? Okay, that's not the problem. That's not the problem. The problem is the thermal paste. Your fan works off of the heat. So if your thermal paste is keeping your GPU, CPU cool, then there's really not much more heat being generated, so your fan's not going to have to go as fast. I mean, it all connects. It's all common sense. It's beautiful, isn't it? Anyway, like I said, send me a message if you're interested, if you're out of state and you want this done. If you have yours more than 12 months, your warranty is over, so you have nothing to lose by doing this. Okay, you will get yours back within a week, and I guarantee you will notice a difference immediately. I guarantee it. Okay, I will pay you to let me do it because I want you to see that this work does wonders. Okay, my name is Steve, NY Baller on YouTube, Muilisx on PS4. That's it. I wish you guys the best of luck and good luck with everything. Take care.